get some. Looks like you're fucked.
CSI training program. We have a special assignment for you. Your new supervisor, Gil Grissom, was working on an extended shift at the CSI garage when he discovered that his late-night snack, a cream-filled donut, had mysteriously disappeared. Your objective will be to find out what happened to Grissom's donut. As your instructor, I'll be showing you the way we do things here at the Las Vegas Crime Lab, including using forensic tools and lab equipment. To exit your training at any time, you can open your PDA, then choose Options menu to exit. The first thing you'll need to do is search the crime scene for evidence. You can look around the scene by touching your cursor to the left and right edges of the screen. Note that when it is possible to move closer to an object, your cursor will change into a green arrow. Notice that there is a garbage can underneath the car. Let's move it out into the open. You can tell whether an object is movable if your cursor changes into a green hand when moving over the object. There may be something inside the garbage can. Let's get a closer look. When viewing an item up close, you can inspect the object from different angles by touching the top, bottom, left, and right edges of the screen with your cursor. To back out of any close-up view, press the B button. Now, let's learn to use the tools. Again, look inside the garbage can to view the paper bag. When you're close enough to use a forensic tool, the cursor will change into a toolkit. Selecting evidence while the kit is open will bring up your CSI tools. Tools fall into two broad categories, those designed for detecting or revealing evidence, and those used for collecting evidence so that it may be analyzed further. Moving the cursor over any of the tools gives a brief description of its use. Use the gloves to pick up the paper bag. Gloves are a collection tool that you will use often in your investigations. When you've collected a piece of evidence, it appears in the evidence viewer. Here you can inspect your evidence for additional clues. To rotate your evidence, use the arrows to the right of the viewer. Did you notice the fingerprint smudge on the bag? Rotate the bag until you can see the fingerprint. Then use the ninhydrin spray to detect it. Ninhydrin is located in the You can exit the evidence viewer by pressing the B button. Evidence you collect can be accessed through your Personal Data Assistant, or PDA. Let's open your PDA now. With your PDA, you can view your evidence, review the current case file, travel to key locations, or access the Options menu. For now, select Evidence. Your evidence is automatically categorized as either trace, documents, or items. To view the paper bag, select it from the Items category. At any time during the case, you can inspect your evidence further or review what you know about it. For now, exit the evidence viewer. To see the different locations in the game that you can visit, open your PDA and select Locations. Locations displayed on the right of the screen are CSI locations. Locations on the left are crime scene locations. Crime scenes are revealed as your case evolves. Tags will appear on crime scene locations to show your progress there. You can turn off this tagging feature by changing the gameplay settings in the Options menu. This menu also allows you to adjust other gameplay options. You can travel to different locations by selecting them from this screen. For now, let's go to the lab to process your evidence. This is the CSI Crime Lab. Here you can analyze, compare, and process the evidence you collect. The lab includes the following workstations: an assembly table, a comparison microscope, a trace analysis computer, a DNA analysis workstation, and a chemical analyzer. You're now going to process the fingerprint that you found at the crime scene. To begin, let's move to the trace analysis computer. Now select the computer screen, then select Fingerprints from the computer menu. Go ahead and select the fingerprint from the paper bag. Here you can search for similar prints in the CSI database records. You can also compare any two fingerprints to see if they are a match. If you find multiple fingerprints at a crime scene, it's usually a good idea to see if they match. In this case, however, you only have one print, so the databases are your only option. Go ahead and search each database until you find possible match results. Next, select one of the search results. It will appear in the second viewing pane. Here we are matching a partial print to a full print. Select the partial print by placing the cursor over it, holding down the A button, and dragging the print into one of the 4 quadrants in the second viewing pane. Release the button to drop it into place. If the partial print does not appear to match, you can choose another quadrant or try another fingerprint. When you find the matching quadrant, select Confirm Match. Good work! The fingerprint on the paper bag matches the prints of Officer Robertson, an LVPD officer. You may now bring Officer Robertson in for questioning, but first, let's review your case file. To review the case file, open your PDA and select Case File. The case file holds a summary of everything you've learned about victims and suspects. Select the Suspects tab at the top of the case file to learn about your new suspect. Now, let's look at your evidence trinity. Get your evidence trinity. The evidence trinity is a guide to measuring your progress in a case. You must find evidence that links the suspect to the victim to the crime scene, and the crime scene to the suspect. Finding enough of these connections will give Captain Brass the proof he needs to bring suspects in for questioning, gain search warrants, and eventually make an arrest. Now let's exit the case file. Now let's head over to Captain Brass's office to get your warrant. This is the office of Captain Jim Brass, who works with your team. His job is to do any police procedures you would need. He can obtain search warrants, put out APBs, or detain suspects for questioning. Now let's ask Captain Brass for a warrant. Notice that when you move your cursor over him, the cursor changes into a speech bubble. This means you can talk to him.
Well, there's no real need to get a judge involved if you're only looking for a missing donut. But since this is a tutorial, I'll have him brought into the interrogation room immediately.
This is the interrogation room. When you're granted a warrant to bring a suspect in for questioning, Captain Brass will bring them directly to this room. Note that while a character is speaking, you can skip to the end of their current line by pressing the B button. You may now begin questioning Officer Robertson.
Nope, not a clue. Well, sure, my prints are on the bag. I was the one who bought the donut. I left it in the car for him, like always. Never saw it again after that. Crumbs. Those must be something else. A chemical test? What, you science types think you can match these crumbs to the ones left in the bag? Well, look, Grissom Jr., there's no need to go that far. I admit, I ate it, okay? Jeez, I didn't mean to cause any trouble. I was really hungry. Grissom left that bag alone in the car for hours. I thought he didn't want it. So I ate the donut and threw the bag in the trash. Look, I'll apologize and make it up to him. I promise. Just don't tell my wife. I'm supposed to be on a diet.
Congratulations! This case is officially closed. And remember, if you ever find yourself stuck on a particular case, you can always talk to your CSI partner and ask for hints. Your training is now complete. To exit, select Options menu from your PDA. Good luck on your next assignment.
Looks like you're fucked.
Ciao, sono Luis,